And we're going to turn now to one of the most mysterious creatures of the animal kingdom. Jacques Cousteau himself is said to have seen only two of them in his lifetime. They're giant sharks, much bigger than great whites. But this shark is far from Jaws. They're whale sharks, and in fact, they are gentle giants, although it's still plenty exciting to see one up close. Just ask my co-anchor, Bill Weir, as he discovered for our series, Into the Wild.
For centuries, fishermen on this gorgeous island would come to a church made of coral and pray for protection from the biggest beast in the sea. The locals in these villages call it Butanding, the whale shark. One of the most ancient and mysterious creatures on the planet.
Glassy seas, perfect day to mingle with sharks.
If we see whale sharks, we interact with as many as we can.
The outrigger banca is the boat of choice in the Philippines, and this one takes us past a smoldering volcano into a bay where the allure of the giant fish has created a new vocation, the whale shark interaction officer.
Because this boat has no propeller guard, and then it is very dangerous.
How fast will the whale shark move?
Actually, they not to swim very faster. They swim very slowly.
As we bounce across the waves, spotters perch on a cross staff, laser focused on the water, waiting for the telltale shadow. And when it comes, there is sudden, urgent action.
All right, we got a shark. Shark, shark, shark.
We flipper after our guide, waiting for the signal.
Sharks!
I plunge, eyes wide, peering, heart pounding, until suddenly, there it is. Out of the blue-green murk comes a behemoth with 3,000 teeth and at least that many telltale spots sprinkled across his massive back. And as quickly as he arrived, he disappears into the deep.
Wow! It's huge. It's just the size of a city bus. And I was too excited to go down. I couldn't hold my breath to get after him. Oh, that was cool.
We climb back onto the boat to hunt for another. And this is probably the part when you're wondering what kind of suicidal moron snorkels with sharks. Yeah, sorry about the melodrama. I probably should have mentioned that these are gentle giants. And each of those 3,000 teeth, about the size of a grain of rice. Despite the scary name and size, they are more whale than shark, grazing on a diet of plankton and shrimp larvae. But even without the threat of being eaten, there is something exhilarating about being this close to a creature this big.
Are you kidding me? Oh my God. Man, that was unbelievable. I got tired of hanging around with him. Man, how big was that? 25 feet long. Wow.
Our morning is filled with nearly a dozen whale shark encounters, which would have been inconceivable a couple decades ago.
Getting the right side.
Right side?
This is our second whale shark in just a couple of minutes. And even the great scuba diving explorer Jacques Cousteau only saw two in his entire lifetime.
They have been swimming the Earth's oceans for 50 million years, but so little is known about these creatures. They live to be about 100, don't start breeding until age 30, an act that has never been witnessed by biologists. In fact, the first baby whale shark ever recorded was found just this summer here, and is considered a huge breakthrough in understanding.
Studying a highly migratory species is very difficult because you need to actually track them, which is nearly impossible.
And as experts tag, tourists gawk. According to the World Wildlife Fund, this is one of the most successful marriages of tourism and conservation anywhere. These $25 encounter cruises have given a giant boost to the local economy. And the fishermen whose forefathers prayed for protection from the whale sharks now pray for the whale sharks. Poachers willing to break the law can sell one for around $5,000 on the black market. That's 2 years' salary in this part of the world.
So you can imagine how hard it is convincing local fishermen that these things are more valuable alive than dead.
We saw a different kind of ocean stress on our journey through the South China Sea. Coral reefs, once dynamited for fish, are slowly recovering among marine sanctuaries with scarce enforcement. And we spent 24 hours with men who make a living catching tuna in the most primitive fashion. Hand lines and squid bait. But they didn't get a single nibble. It's hard to compete with giant industrial trawlers in these overfished waters. But back in Don Sol, the whale sharks are providing a small economic bright spot. The challenge now? Managing the success.
Amongst the biggest threats would be the very success of the program. Too many boats, too many tourists going in during the season might invariably affect the long-term behavior of the animals.
But their interest is what could ultimately sustain them, right?
Exactly.
So how do you strike the balance between too much love, being loved to death?
Well, it's always better to be loved not nearly to death, rather than being slaughtered for food or fins.
I look up, and he's coming right at me. Big gaping mouth, little beady eyes. I thought he was going to hoover me right into his gullet. A living creature the size of this boat, just chilling, cruising. Wow, that was great.
That was cool. Bill, we were there swimming with some very big fishes. Thanks for that story. Up next, there's no fish here. The people don't come to swim, but we're going to stay in the